Hey, it's Blake Williams with Battle Tested, and it's story time. So when I was in third grade, I remember being on the playground at Graham Elementary School, and I was playing frisbee with my friend Jim. And Jim and I are throwing the frisbee back and forth, and we're underneath a little grove of trees on the playground, and a chipmunk comes running between us, and it stops at the base of this tree underneath a fallen branch. And I just kind of instinctively took off running towards this chipmunk with some idea that, hey, I might catch this chipmunk. Well, as I bent down, this chipmunk stayed perfectly still underneath this fallen branch. And I actually was able to reach down, grab this chipmunk, and I held it in my hand. And I was amazed, like, I've got a chipmunk. Who would have ever thought I could have caught a chipmunk? So the first thing that Jim says is, let's go show Miss Monroe, who was our teacher. My thought was, why do I want to show Miss Monroe when I can go show Susan? Susan was a girl I was crushing on, right? So I said, hey, let's go show Susan. Susan will be impressed with this catch that I have. So I go find Susan on the playground, and she's like, oh, cute chipmunk, and she starts to pet it on the head. You probably know this is not going to end well. And as she begins to pet the chipmunk, it tries to wiggle out of my small hand. And I feel like I'm about to drop it. So I just kind of take my other hand and I pop it on its butt to try to push it back up into my hand. And when I do that, this chipmunk clamps down on my middle finger, just bites me right there and does not let go. So I begin to do one of these things and slam it down on the ground, just trying to lodge it off of my finger as hard as I could. I now am crying, and blood is just running down my arm. I no longer want to see Susan now. I want to go to see Miss Monroe, the person who Jim recommended I go to in the first place. So I'm running and crying to Miss Monroe, right? Humiliated, embarrassed, and now begin to hear about the idea of rabies and 21 shots in your stomach. And so to abbreviate the story, I wound up being fine. The chipmunk had gotten into some rat poison at school. It was going to die anyway. I just took it out of its misery when I slammed it on the ground. And because it was sick, that was the only reason I was able to catch it. So I tell the story, and I share the embarrassing and funny story because who do we run to? Right? Who do we run to when things go bad? You know, I went to Susan to show off and to try to get some brownie points with her. But when things got bad, when things went south, I ran to Miss Monroe, this woman who I had grown to love, respect, and trust, obviously, that she would take care of me. Who do you run to when you need to be taken care of? Are you someone who maybe other people run to? Are you that type of person that people come to you with their problems, with their concerns, their issues, their struggles, and do you help them? But we all need that person that we run to. Obviously, in my life, I run to God for a number of things, but there's also people on this earth that when I go through hard times, I run to. I run to those people who help me. You know, with what happened in Las Vegas, there's a lot of people who were running away from someone, or running away from the terror that was happening for good reason. And soon thereafter, after they realized they had, I think, escaped, those that did escape the terrible situation, I'm sure they ran to people, right? They ran to people to make those phone calls that maybe need to be made, to find those people that needed to be found, let them know they were okay, to seek help, to fall into someone's arms for safety. Who do you run to? Do you have that person here on this earth that you run to when you need to feel safe, when you need to feel loved, cared for, whatever it might be? Who do you run to? And are you that type of person, that type of great friend, parent, teammate, coach, whatever it is, who people run to you? People run to you. I applaud you if you're one of those people, because we all need those types of people. And if you have the courage to run to someone, rather than just facing fears on your own, troubled times on your own, difficulty on your own, have the courage to run to people. Run to God, run to people that can help you. Hope you have a great day.